Justin, what is the craziest thing you did on your journey in order to spot one of these animals?
I suppose I did a lot of crazy things. I suppose the most difficult was the riverine rabbit, and it involved tracking every single night in a Land Rover with 3 spotlights and just driving the roads of the Karoo for hours and nights on end, which is what the scientists have to do because they're not collared or anything. You know, with the pangolin, at least there was a tracking device on 1 or 2 of the pangolins, and with the Cape mountain leopard, Quinton Martins has collars on some of them, so you can at least track them. But the riverine rabbit is just sheer luck, just driving the roads at night in areas that are likely, chance in a million, and lucky I got that chance.
And were you sort of heartened by or disappointed by what's being done to conserve these animals?
It's a mixed bag. Some animals are well protected in the national parks and parks that they exist. For instance, the Cape mountain leopard in the Cederberg, it is well protected. The farmers have been encouraged to shift from sheep to vineyards and orchards and so on, which means there isn't all that pressure on sheep being taken by leopards. So there's not so much predation by farmers on leopards. So they're doing well. But where they're out of national parks and they're just in the Karoo, it's a much more difficult situation. Same with the riverine rabbit. When it's in a national park or a nature reserve like Sanbona or Iceberg, they're doing okay. When they're trying to live in farmlands, they're up against conflict with farmers and dogs and so on at all times. So yeah, it's a mixed bag. Some animals are doing okay, some aren't doing so well.
Yeah,
that's the case for
and
most animals.
The pangolin, doesn't that also get poached for Chinese medicine? The scales.
Yeah, like the rhino, it's in trouble. The pangolins, there are many different species of pangolins, quite a few in Asia and in Africa, and the Asian pangolin has been heavily poached out, largely for Chinese medicine, and in Vietnam, etc. And so the emphasis from the east is moving to the African pangolins. And so I think, as with the rhino, trouble is coming. It's already here, but it's going to come in a much larger scale. The fortunate thing about the pangolin, it is so difficult to find, and that's its saving grace. Unlike the rhino, which is at the brink of extinction, in effect.
Okay. So, what can people expect from your book, other than see some of these crazy journeys that you undertook?
Well, I've written it as a very accessible, very humorous, witty account, frustrating, impossible account of this journey. So I think the characters are amazing. The people I met along the way, these scientists, they're all crazy. They're nuts. They've turned into the animals themselves. Some of them have started to look like the animals. I kind of saw them growing whiskers and spots and so on. They taste the food of the animals that they're researching so that they can get inside the head of the animal. So the characters are hilarious. They're nutty. The one guy jotted all his notes on a ballpoint pen, but he never took a book with him, so he jotted it all over his body. So on his legs, on his arms are all the scientific notes. So weird characters, that's the one thing. And the other thing is I try to bring in all my childhood fascination with animals. And so the characters of my childhood, Winnie the Pooh, Bugs Bunny, the rabbits from Watership Down, they come along with me on this journey. And I have dialogue with them on the journey. So there's fun, quirky, irreverent stuff as well. So I think it should appeal to a fairly broad audience. Even teenagers and kids might get a kick out of some of it.
Excellent. Thanks, Justin. Thanks for your time.
Thank you, Nick.